I'd like to hear if you have one success story or one student that comes to mind of maybe who started out like questioning this or not totally on board, and then by the end of the year you saw some sort of transformation. If you'd be willing to share on a particular student or experience.
Well, because of the setup of our school, we are lucky to work with a lot of families who have been there since the school opened and have many kids coming through the grade levels. And sometimes even mom or dad works at the school. Mm-hmm. So I'm fortunate that I get to talk to mom and dad and I get to hear what's going on at home. And so we do have one family that currently has 4 kiddos in the school between kindergarten and 8th grade. They just had a kindergarten graduate, a 5th grade graduate, and an 8th grade graduate. Mm. And this family, mom was starting, it was her first year back to work, and she really thought that with so many kids in the family and so much homework and so many after school activities, that there would be no way that they could try and incorporate it in home. And she was really happy to have it happening in the school and could totally see the benefits at school. But, after about maybe 6 or 8 weeks of doing the program, she would come to me and tell me different things that the kids have said, and the way that maybe they were starting to get in an argument over a game or something, and the kindergartner would say, no, wait, we know we can sit down and let our shoulders drop and do 5 breaths. And she would come and tell me, that she was seeing it in action. So I was super fortunate to have that eye on what's happening at home and how it's working at home. I mean, in the classroom, there were multiple kiddos who really didn't want anything to do with it in the beginning. And I did find that what was key with those kids was building a relationship and using some of the SEL principles. I used a lot of I statements with those kiddos and building the relationship. And then once the relationship was solid, they got into it and they're like my best helpers now. So, I would say if you focus on building that relationship piece first, it's going to carry you through any hesitations or any objections that you have. It's a little harder with the 6th through 8th graders to do that. I have less time with them just because of the way the day is scheduled. So, if there's a special assembly or something, I don't get to see them. So it's a little more difficult, but I have to say that by the end of the year, even with the 8th graders, the 7th and the 8th graders, it took us maybe just one class to work off the kinks, and then they were ready, and they, said, teach us mindfulness. I was like, yes, okay. So even with the 7th and the 8th graders, building the relationships first, giving them some time. I love how built into the script in the curriculum you have every time for doing a mindfulness practice. If you don't want to do this or you're uncomfortable doing this, you can, put your head down or you can read. I love that that's built in. And I always add, you don't have to do this practice. You really don't. But you're not allowed to disturb anybody else who wants to do the practice. Right. That's how we frame it.